Wide Cross is an upcoming MOBA game being developed by a small indie team called Trypeaks and is currently in closed beta on Steam. Though it ostensibly appears to be very similar to the traditional MOBA model, what with 5 heroes to a side with 4 abilities each, and each map having several lanes of attack, there are key differences that make Wide Cross unique and interesting in its own way. The game boasts on its Steam page about being really not difficult, and I have to agree, there are no creeps that spawn in waves, so there's no high precision last hitting or XP denials, and furthermore, all of your hero's abilities and attacks don't need to be targeted towards anything. The mouse cursor is simply used to point your hero in a particular direction and to tell it to either move or attack with right or left click respectively. The simplicity of the control scheme makes Wide Cross extremely playable and easy to pick up. After only a couple of games versus bots, oh it has bots by the way, which is something you don't see in a small indie multiplayer game very often, I was very comfortable picking a new hero, having a brief gaze at the abilities, and then diving into a new match with confidence. There are some quirks that I found interesting, such as how there are multiple maps that don't necessarily follow the old school 3-lane format, and there aren't spawning creeps in the traditional sense. Instead, there are guardian monsters that you can kill to make them respawn and fight on your side, which led to some pretty awesome fights as both sides tried to get the kill to gain the advantage, and they level up as the game goes on, so there's a nice curve to the gameplay as all the players are leveling up. There has clearly been a lot of attention paid to the overall gameplay experience as shown by the level of polish and refinement in the match style and hero controls. In fact, there isn't a lot of criticism I can level at the core game, and most of my gripes with it are technical, with nothing to do with how a match plays out in general. Even hero balance feels natural and the role of each one is immediately obvious from their abilities, but more on that shortly. Consumable items was another interesting feature. Instead of buying them in-game, you'd purchase them in the menus outside of actual gameplay and assign them to inventory slots ahead of time. At face value, I didn't like this at first, but for example, a stack of 40 health potions costs only a couple hundred gold, and the game had given me literally 1,000,000 gold when I first opened it up. As I mentioned before, the game is in closed beta, so it is rough around the edges, the menus are kinda low resolution, the interface is a little sluggish and unintuitive, and the options menu just straight up didn't work for me at all. But besides that, I didn't run into many issues with general gameplay. It only crashed on me once, and I only encountered one weird menu glitch where 2 screens appeared simultaneously and I had to force quit the game to fix it. Personally, I like playing as Kayn and Marlene. Kayn becomes a really deadly hero assassin once he's leveled up, and honestly I think Marlene could do with some balance tweaks because she's ridiculously overpowered. In one game I played, I'd got 8 kills with Marlene within just the first minute. That's the other thing about Wide Cross, you can upgrade your abilities as you level up, but you start with all 4 ready to go. Right as the teams first meet in the middle of the map, right at the start, you can drop all 4 abilities and wreak havoc in the shortest possible time. There are clearly tank heroes, support heroes, heroes that focus on buildings, area of effect spellcasters, and some really creative abilities that surprised me a bit. For example, one hero has an ability that will invert your movement directions, which is really disruptive, and another has an ability that will simply teleport you back to base. The only problem is that all these heroes are presented to you in a list and the match countdown starts immediately, so there isn't a lot of time to carefully pick and choose, and without them split into categories it's even more difficult to make a smart choice based on the rest of your team if you aren't already familiar with the game. So between how accessible the game mechanics are, how fast paced each game is, and the focus on team tactics and hero combat, Wide Cross is ideal for LAN parties and as a casual time waster either alone or with friends. I even really like the adorable little chibi style anime characters, and I found the Japanese speech and not quite accurate English translation to be charming in a kind of bootleg anime sort of way. That said, they did just release an English translation in the last update, as well as a new game mode that is just horribly unbalanced, but again, it's a closed beta, but updates are very frequent. If you'd like to check out Wide Cross for yourself, and I suggest you do, it's not bad fun, be sure to head over to Vinople's Lounge on Steam, which is a very cool group where Vinople himself has regular raffle-style giveaways that include game keys, item skins for Counter-Strike and other big titles, and he occasionally hosts competitions such as CSGO Wingman tournament that I played in last year, and in the coming months he'll be hosting his own game servers and bringing more content and fun to the community. He's a very professional sort of dude, there's literally no downside to checking him out, especially right now because Vinople has 5 Wide Cross game keys that he's going to be giving away on the 21st of January, which is only a few days away, and all you have to do is join the group and leave your name in the comment section of the announcement, and you're in the draw to win. So make sure you get your name in as soon as possible. So thanks for dropping by guys, remember to leave a comment if you like this kind of thing, and I will catch you in the next one. Cheers!